this video, I'll show you how I made this Patchwork sewing machine dust cover. Here's a list of everything you need to make yours. If you watched my previous video, we're going to do the front pocket in the same way as we did the panel on the sewing mat. So you want to take one piece of your pocket and all your strips of fabric. Place your first one on top of the pocket strip. Place your second one at a slight angle on top of the first, right sides together if you have a patterned fabric, and sew down this line. Don't put the top fabric over onto the other side of the first, otherwise this won't work. Sew down the edge. Fold the top piece back and press, and then repeat this until the entire piece of fabric is covered. Once it's completely covered, trim back the edges so it's the same size as the piece of fabric you began with. I'm having a little boogie here. I like to listen to 70s music when I'm sewing. So I think this was Video Killed the Radio Star. Having a great time, obviously. And that's the front of your pocket. Now take your other pocket piece and place it right sides together on top of that, and sew across the top and the bottom edges. I'm trimming back again because mine was a little bit big still. Now turn this right side out and press. And I think this song was go grease lightning. As you can tell by my actions, I was obviously having a great time. Anyway. Once it's pressed, you want to top stitch along the top. I've used a decorative stitch on mine. Still clicking away. Here we go. You see, I've used this leaf design on top of mine. These are my lining pieces, and I've already ironed these onto fusible fleece. And I'll put those to one side. And I'll take one outer piece and then place my pockets in the right position on top. Make sure this is straight and pin in place. Mine's about 1 inch from the bottom, and take into account seam allowances. Once it's pinned, just sew across the bottom edge. And I'm going to sew down the middle, and that will create the 2 pockets on the front. So I'm just folding in half so I can find the centre line, and then I'm just going to sew down that. So now I'm taking some ribbon for the side ties. I've used a lace for mine, and you'll need about 10-inch strips and 4 of those. So take your first 2 and place them about halfway up the front of the sewing machine cover, just above the pocket, and pin in place, facing inward. And the same on the other side. Make sure they're the same. And then just tack them down in place so they don't move. And then I'm just going to trim off the pockets because I made mine a little bit too big. Then you want to take the back of the machine cover, place it on top of the front, then pin the ribbon in the same place on this piece of fabric as the front. Now I'll just stop the video here quickly because something really weird happened to me while I was doing this. If you watch this next clip and just listen out for the noise, I really have no explanation as to what caused it. You'll be able to hear me talking to myself and the TV in the background. I'll just insert here a clip of the door so you can see what it was that was rattling. This was just filmed on my phone. So that's where I sew, and then just to the right of me is this door with stained glass windows, and just outside you can see our cutting room. Excuse the mess. But yeah, this door is closed. And the rattling is actually the glass because it's quite loose. So when you press it, it does make a really loud noise. But the only way to do that is to shake the door. Even a breeze doesn't make that much noise on the door. This has never happened before in the house. I asked my parents and they've never heard that happen before. There was no drafts coming through. My dad was out of the shop. My mum was walking the dog. So I have no idea what that was. So yeah, that's my weird experience. Let's get back to the video. So I put those two lace pieces on the back of the cover as well, pinned in place and tacked in place. Once this is done, place this piece of fabric onto the front piece, right sides together, and sew across the top edge. You want to do the same with your lining pieces as well. So place them right sides together and sew across the top edge. Open up the lining and then place the top fabric on top. right sides together and pin in place or clip in place. Make sure the ribbons are tucked in. I haven't got my helper this time. So sew all the way around the edge and leave a gap for turning. Again, I'm just trimming back any bits that were too big. Turn your cover the right side out. I forgot to cut the corners, but I did that as I was turning it. Just cut the corners back, but be careful not to cut over the stitches. So yeah, push your corners out, and then what you want to do is press the whole thing so it's nice and flat. I've pressed in the open edge as well so I can sew that closed as I'm top stitching around the edge. And yeah, just top stitch around the whole thing. And that's your cover finished. If you watch my previous video, you'll see this goes perfectly with the sewing machine mat that I have. So you have a nice sewing machine set. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and please subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks!